You mean to say that after you'd done this marvelous thing for them, without making a single mistake, they just sat there and never said a word to you, and never petted you or admired you or told you how marvelous you'd been?
Not a word.
That's simply appalling. I should not have thrown the slippers at him. I should have thrown the fire irons.
Mother! Mother!
I thought that wouldn't take long. Oh, you stay where you are, my dear.
Mother, where the devil are you?
Remember, last night you not only danced with the prince, you behaved like a princess.
Mother, the most dreadful thing happened last night. You.
Good afternoon, Professor Higgins. Are you quite well?
Am I quite well?
But of course you are. You were never ill. Would you care for some tea?
Don't you dare try that game on me. I taught it to you. Get up this instant and stop acting like a fool. You've caused me enough trouble for one morning.
Very nicely put indeed, Henry. No woman could resist such an invitation.
How did this baggage get here in the first place?
Eliza came to see me, and I was delighted to have her. And if you don't promise to behave yourself, I shall have to ask you to leave.
You mean I am to put on my Sunday manners for this thing I created out of the squashed cabbage leaves of Covent Garden?
Yes, dear. That is precisely what I mean.
Well, I shall see her damned first.
Eliza, how did you ever learn manners with my son around?
It was very difficult. I should never have known how ladies and gentlemen behave if it hadn't been for Colonel Pickering.
Colonel Pickering, really?
He always showed me that he felt and thought about me, as if I was something better than a common flower girl. You see, Mrs. Higgins, apart from the things one can pick up, the difference between a lady and a flower girl is not how she behaves, but how she's treated. I shall always be a flower girl to Professor Higgins because he always treats me as a flower girl, and always will. But I know that I shall always be a lady to Colonel Pickering because he always treats me as a lady, and always will.
Henry, why don't you have some tea?
The vicar is here, Mum. Shall I show him into the garden?
The vicar and the professor? Oh, heavens, no. I'll see him in the library. Eliza, if my son begins to break things, you have my permission to have him evicted. Henry, dear, if I were you, I should stick to two subjects, the weather and your health.
Well, Eliza, you've had a bit of your own back, as you call it. Are you satisfied, and are you going to be reasonable, or do you want any more?
You want me back only to pick up your slippers and put up with your tempers and fetch and carry for you.
I haven't said I wanted you back at all.
Oh, indeed. Then what are we talking about?
About you, not about me. If you come back, I shall treat you just as I've always treated you. I can't change my nature, and I'm not about to change my manners. My manners are the same as Colonel Pickering's.
That's not true. He treats a flower girl as if she was a duchess.
Yes, and I treat a duchess as if she were a flower girl.
I see. The same to everybody.
Just so. But you see, the great secret, Eliza, is not having good manners or bad manners or any other sort of particular manners, but having the same manner for all human souls. The question is not whether I have treated you rudely, but whether you have ever seen me treat anyone else any better.
I don't care how you treat me. I don't mind your swearing at me. I shouldn't mind a black eye. I've had one before this. But I will not be passed over.
Well, then get out of my way, for I won't stop for you. Talk about me as if I were a motor bus.
So you are a motor bus. All bounce and go with no consideration for anyone. But I can get along without you. Don't you think I can?
Oh, I know you can. I told you you could. You never wondered, I suppose, whether I could get along without you.
Oh, don't you try to get around me. You'll have to.
And so I can. Without you or any other soul on earth, but I shall miss you, Eliza. I've learned something from your idiotic notions. I confess that humbly and gratefully.
Well, you have my voice on your gramophone. When you feel lonely without me, you can turn it on. It's got no feelings to hurt.
I can't turn your soul on.
Oh, you are a devil. Oh, you can twist the heart in a girl as easily as some can twist her arms to hurt her. What am I to come back for?
For the fun of it, that's why I took you on.
And you may throw me out tomorrow if I don't do everything you want me to.
Yes, and you may walk out tomorrow if I don't do everything you want to do.
And live with my father.
Yes! Or sell flowers. Or would you rather marry Pickering?
I wouldn't marry you if you asked me, and you're nearer my age than what he is.
Than he is.
Can't talk as I like, you're not my teacher. That's not what I want. Don't you think it? I've always had chaps enough wanting me that way. Freddie Hill writes to me twice and 3 times a day, sheets and sheets.
So in short, you want me to be as infatuated about you as he is that it?
No, I don't. I want a little kindness. I know I'm only a common, ignorant girl, and you a book-learned gentleman. But I'm not dirt under your feet. What I done, what I did, was not for the dresses and the taxis. I did it because we were pleasant together, and I came to care for you. Not to want you to make love to me, and not forgetting the difference between us, but more friendly-like.
Well, yes, that's exactly how I feel. And how Pickering feels. Eliza, you're a fool.
That's not a proper answer to give me.
Well, it's the only answer you'll get until you stop being a plain idiot. If you're going to be a lady, you have to stop feeling neglected when the men in your life are sniveling over you and giving you black eyes. You find me cold, unfeeling, selfish, don't you? Very well, be off with you to the sort of people you like. Go and marry some sentimental hog or other with lots of money and a thick pair of lips to kiss you with and a thick pair of boots to kick you with. If you can't appreciate what you've got, better get what you can appreciate.
Oh, I can't talk to you. You turn everything against me. But don't you be too sure you have me under your feet to be talked down. I'll marry Freddie, I will. Just as soon as I'm able to support him.
Freddie, that poor devil who couldn't get a job as an errand boy, much less have the guts to try for it, woman. Don't you understand? I have made you a consort for a king.
Freddie loves me. That makes him king enough for me. I don't want him to work. He wasn't brought up to it as I was. I'll go and be a teacher.
What'll you teach in heaven's name?
What you taught me. I'll teach phonetics.
Ha, ha, ha!
I'll offer myself as an assistant to that brilliant Hungarian.
What? That imposter? That humbug, that toadying ignoramus teaching my methods, my discoveries, woman. You take one step in that direction, I'll wring your neck. You hear?
Take away, what do I care? I knew you'd strike me one day. Hey, Red's done you in, Henry Higgins, it has. Now, I don't care that. For your bullying and your big talk. What a fool I was. What a dominated fool to think you were the earth and sky. What a fool I was. What a narrow-pated fool. What a mutton-headed dolt was I. No, my reverberating friend. You are not the beginning and the end.
You impudent hussy. There isn't an idea in your head or a word in your mouth that I haven't put there.
There'll be spring every year without you. England still will be here without you. There'll be fruit on the tree and a shore by the sea. There'll be crumpets and tea without you. Art and music will thrive without you. Summer Keats will survive without you. And there still will be rain on that plain down in Spain. Even that will remain without you. I can't do without you. You, dear friend, who talk so well. You can go to Hertford, Hereford and Hampshire. They can still rule the land without you. Windsor Castle will stand without you. And without much ado, we can all muddle through without you.
You brazen wretch!
Without your pulling it, the tide comes in. Without your twirling it, the earth can spin. Without your pushing them, the clouds roll by. If they can do without you, ducky, so can I. I shall not feel alone without you. I can stand on my own without you. So go back in your shell. I can do bloody well without.
George, I really did it! I did it! I did it! I said I'd make a woman, and indeed I did! I knew that I could do it! I knew it! I knew it! I said I'd make a woman and succeed! I did! Oh, Eliza! You are magnificent. 5 minutes ago, you were a millstone round my neck. Now you are a tower of strength, a consort battleship. I like you like this.
Goodbye, Professor Higgins. I shall not be seeing you again.
You will see. Mother! Mother!
What is it, Henry? What's happened?
What? She's gone.
Of course, dear. What did you expect?
Well, what am I to do?
Do without, I suppose.
And so I shall. The Higgins oxygen burns her little lungs, so there'll see some stuffings that suits her. She's an owl, sickened by a few days of my sunshine. Very well, let her go. I don't need her. I don't need anyone. I have my own soul. My own spark of divine fire!
Bravo, Eliza.